Welcome to Nacho Average Cinema. I am Pepper,
And I'm Zach.
and today is part two of Fantasy Booking WrestleMania 41. Zach has already posted his list, so go check that one out before you do this one, because I am going to make some comparisons to his and some similarities, some striking similarities, because we did these completely separate. But yeah, this is just fantasy booking, what I would have realistically. Like, I'm not bringing people back from the dead or Macho Man or anything like that. Just given the situation now, or at least like a week or two ago, when I actually made the predictions, uh, what I would do with WrestleMania. So I got
Yes,
two
for
notes
for
here. What was that?
I was gonna say for timing's sake, right now we're a week away from Elimination Chamber, so we're the
Yeah.
night before Monday Night Raw, before Elimination Chamber week.
Yes. So you're probably going to have already seen Elimination Chamber and think these are just absolutely laughable. But ain't nobody gonna be laughing at my first match. We're starting with a bang. Night one, match one. They always like to get the crowd hot. And what better than a Charlotte match to get the crowd happy and get them hot and feeling WrestleMania. And this is a match that's pretty much determined at this point. And I'm like, what can I do to make this interesting? Like, I want things to be cool in fantasy booking. I don't want to just take the easy ones, but the trouble thing with doing it at this point in the year, we already know a lot that's already in place, and it feels weird to throw it out completely. So I didn't want to do that, but it's still not going to be realistic because as they are in the ring, Charlotte and Tiffy, their classic rivalry that we're already seeing, as they're in the ring. The match is about to start, and we hear a very familiar phrase. Ladies and gentlemen. Paul Heyman introduces himself as he always does. People are like, what the heck? Why is Paul Heyman coming out here? Is he going to kick the women out and put a Roman match on or something? Or
He
what's
just
going
might.
on? He just wants to steal the show. But he starts talking like he does. He probably asks that very thing that I just asked. You're probably wondering what I'm doing here. He said, I owed someone a favor. And that's all he says. And then we hear, I don't know the theme song, so I can't really sing it.
Also, pers
AJ Lee comes back to the
Oh my
WWE.
gosh.
CM Punk's wife. That is the favor. Paul Heyman gets her, inserts her into this, making it a triple threat match for the WWE Women's Championship. That's the most exciting thing I could think of for this match. And of course, AJ Lee is going to have to win this match, which I feel
Right.
bad for Tiffy, because this is kind of her moment, but you can't deny
Wow.
AJ.
I even as you were leading into that, I was like, what is he gonna do with this? Is it just gonna be some woman that's now a Paul Heyman guy? Uh, but yeah, that would be pretty sweet. That would be a great way to start it. Because yeah, I was wondering. I was like, with Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair, I'm sure they could put on a great match. So they could definitely lead off the show, and it would make sense. And could be a hot match to start off. But this would be an even hotter angle to start off WrestleMania with. Uh, so yeah, you almost had the same one as me. I was boring, and I just said title match between them.
The title match. Yes.
But yeah, this is much better. I much prefer this option here.
Yes. Vote below. Which list that you would rather go with. If you really want to go into it and take match for match and pick, I guess you can go and do that. That's a lot of research, but whatever you want to do. Engagement is
Especially
good.
especially considering I think you said you had like one more match than I have.
Yes, I believe so.
So I don't know how my non-match vacant would beat unless your match is that
That's
terrible,
true.
your
If it's
extra
that,
match.
yeah, if it's that bad. And then we move on to match two. The crowd's crazy. I mean, they're going wild. I don't know how you top it, but we're gonna try to do it. And here's one that's kind of similar. This is a Drew McIntyre match, and I want the best for Drew here. And I was really digging when he was going after the Bloodline. And I think we get back to that in the road to WrestleMania. Maybe takes out Jimmy for good and sets his eyes on Solo Sikoa and starts attacking him. And they start attacking him. Maybe they preemptively attack him because he is running through the original bloodline, which is pretty much just Jimmy. He attacks them so well that Solo's like, we got to get ahead of this. And they send their forces. The Tongas fought too. They get some nice action before WrestleMania, and it leads to a Bloodline Bounty Hunter gauntlet match, which the similarity is that we both had Bloodline themed gauntlet matches. What in the heck?
Wow. Yes, we honest to God did not. I am just learning of this now, so I'm not. I am shocked at this, but it is crazy how we both. Ha- That's how we want to book our bloodline. We want them all to be included here. Um, yeah, it's crazy that we have gauntlet matchups.
That's all we can think. We're like, how do we fit like four guys in here?
Yeah.
This is how you do it. And then in this, I think very similar to the way yours went. Drew's going to go off against maybe Tama Tonga. They're going to have a little 5 minute match, and Drew's going to obviously beat him. He's not going to lose in the first bit of this. Then Tongaloa, the infamous Tongaloa, is going to come in here. Maybe he'll have an eye patch by now. Drew will have taken out one of his eyes, so he'll get that back, get that aura back on his character. He comes out, gets Claymored immediately, and is eliminated in like 6 seconds. We don't want to waste too much time here. There's a lot of matches on this card. And Jacob Fatu comes out third, and we just get an amazing monster showdown. And they're going at it, and they have some great spots, maybe break the barricade at a point. And then he demands Jacob Fatu just beat up Drew so bad so that it's easy for, for Solo to pin Drew. So he's telling him to hit him with the stairs, hit him with the chairs. So he does. And he gets himself disqualified, but it's pretty much a layup for Solo Sikoa to take out Drew McIntyre when he gets in there. That happens. Drew's all bloody from this. Solo's confident. The ref's checking on Drew. Can you do it? Can you do it? He says yes because he is the Scottish warrior and he's got to look as tough as possible because I love Drew McIntyre. And Solo is a bit too confident and he has underestimated Drew McIntyre. And he is kind of taunting, and he turns around and gets immediately claymored and pinned, just like Tonga Loa. He suffers the same fate, and Drew
Wow.
McIntyre wins.
I like it. I
And,
like it.
and the bloodline just looks pitiful. They look aimless. They look lost. The glory days are far behind them.
Yes, I like that one quite a bit. And then I suppose if you really wanted to, you could kind of, if Jacob Fatu is kind of the standout there, maybe
Yeah,
the Tongas could have him be kind of their new
that's
leader.
true. This is
I guess I don't know. I'm not gonna book anything
yeah.
for you off of this, but that would be my thought. Just because they're
Mhm.
like, oh well, Solo, you kind of really were bad in this matchup. If you'd have just let Jacob finish him off, I think we would have won. Um,
There will
so
definitely be debates as to who should really be the leader.
yeah, I like that one quite a bit. I mean, I like my own
I
quite
like,
a bit as well, but if I had not made any matchup near what I made, I would love this idea and wish I would have thought of something like it. But it is insane that we both
it's
wanted,
crazy. It is crazy.
wanted those types of matchups.
But yeah, at least that's an easy comparison. Which bloodline, I guess, gauntlet match do you like more? I think yours had a little more star power, so I think you might have me beat.
Yeah.
Next up is a match. This is a match that I actually predicted, and the moment I predicted it, I fell in love with it. Intercontinental match for Sheamus needs to try to get it finally against the big bad wolf, the big bad dog, Braun Breaker. But what's I mean, it's great to have a banger, two big meaty men slapping meat. But you like both of them, so there's never really any drama of, oh, Braun wins, that's great. Shane wins, that's great. You need dirty Dominic Mysterio as the third wheel in here to risk playing spoiler and ruining everyone's nights and possibly Sheamus's career. Yeah, and he's
Yeah,
going to take so much abuse in this one. So many smacks from each of these guys. Oh my goodness.
yeah. I loved this match when you predicted it, and I was like, I hope we actually do get that match, and it kind of makes it a little bit different than we have. I think had the Braun Breaker Sheamus match
Yeah,
a few times, but this kind of adds another element to it. And yeah, getting that heat from Dirty Dom in there, especially if he kind of goes for a few pins every now and then, and it's looking like, oh boy, Braun Breaker just hit Sheamus with one of his great spears, and then Dom throws him out of the ring, and he goes for the cover or something.
yeah, yeah.
Is he gonna pin him?
That's the great drama of this one. And I initially thought like, okay, Sheamus has to win this one, obviously, but the more I've thought about it, I'm like, there is no better moment than when Shane should obviously win. There's no better moment to have Dom come away with this. So I'm thinking maybe I give it to Dom. It's not that damaging if Shane doesn't ever get the IC
Wow, wow, wow.
title.
Well, I think you
Uh,
might have just. So I've got a similar match on mine. You guys will have to go see what mine is, but I think I don't think I actually gave the winners of all my matches, but you are saying Dominic Mysterio is
I'm
winning this
seeing
one. I
Dom.
think the anyone watching both of them may pick my match just because of that.
Oh wow. I had Sheamus circled, but now I'm just like, nah, Dominic needs to win this one. That is going to
We're
elevate.
just like WWE. We don't have the plans 100% in place yet.
Yes. Dirty Dom to the top, or the mid card at least. And next up we have another women's match. We have the women's tag championship match. We have Jade Cargill having returned already. Still doesn't know who attacked her, but they think, and it seems in storyline real life, that it was Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. They were in that damning security footage somewhere near where she was attacked. And like Jade had to give up the belt and Naomi took it, Bianca Belair, because she won that Elimination Chamber match and has a match already,
Ooh.
dropped her tag title, gave it to Jade so that she can defend it with Naomi. Now we've kind of had every duo of that trio hold the belts together, so that's a nice little fact there. And they're going against, obviously, the despicable Liv Morgan and her giant protector, Raquel Rodriguez. And in this match is going to start, and Jade Cargill is going to immediately obliterate Naomi. And we don't know what's going on, obviously. Deep down, I like she thinks Naomi turned on her just to and took her out to take her space to get that belt. That's kind of the mindset I'm thinking Jade Cargill's in, or is just mad at everybody for forgetting about her. Obliterates Naomi, goes out the ringside. Doesn't completely obliterate Bianca. They're a little closer friends, but she does kind of push her away and kind of bump her hard against the ring apron, kind of hurting her back just a little bit. Um, but yeah,
Hmm.
Naomi's just there. Liv Morgan's like just sitting there, like gets excited like a kid on Christmas morning that Naomi just laid out on the ground. Goes up, pins her 1, 2, 3. They didn't even have to deliver a single move. New tag team champions.
Hmm. Yeah, I like it, and I feel like that shove may be setting something up for maybe later tonight or night two, possibly. We will see. So I
Possibly.
do like that.
Possibly. I think I did think of the shove, and then I don't know if I actually did end up working that into too much. There's a couple things like that where I'm like, wait a minute, wasn't I setting up something? So yes, I'm also like WWE, just forgetting everything. Okay, and then we go on to the extra match, the last match I added because I'm like, this is a legend, this is a new guy. They have to determine who is the Jamote, the greatest mask of all time. and that is the two men with the same pose. Rey Mysterio and Penta dream match. They want to have this fight. Dom Mysterio actually has the same exact pose. Where is he? He has the same exact pose. And it's absolutely
You can't
ridiculous.
escape the pose. You cannot escape it.
But yeah, I'm just like, I would actually like to see this. Ray is extraordinarily good. I mean, he's got to be like 75 years old at this point, and he is still doing high flying moves. I don't think time has taken its toll on this high flyer as much as it has some others.
Yeah, I would agree. I just hope you do not. I hope this is not like a I don't know, as like a battle royal kind of match or something like that because yeah, they started the Royal Rumble this year and Penta definitely did not touch the floor immediately. Uh that certainly did not happen. Um but yeah, I hope they do a little bit better than they did because I feel like it was a little sloppier than I was hoping for
Yeah,
that. So I'm
yeah,
hoping this is a way for them to kind of redeem themselves and show just what kind of match they can actually
yeah.
put on.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think they can do a I think they can put on a banger, and I think Penta's got to go over. That's what I'm having here in my book,
mhm.
and I don't know a world where Ray needs to win this. But maybe, who knows? Maybe he needs it.
He
Uh,
might need it. Maybe Chad Gable will come in and who knows what he'll do.
that's true. That's true. Okay, so then this next match, a little setup. Finn Balor, he's fed up with the Judgment Day. Like they're not listening to him. They're not
Oh boy.
being successful. When they just, and he's like, if you just listen to me, we'd get everything right. JD McDonough, his best friend, is injured. He's gone, so he's got kind of no one to back him up. So he turns his back on the Judgment Day and he leaves them. And he kind of goes on his own and trashes the Judgment Day a little bit, and then eventually JD McDonough comes back from injury, and he's real excited. He's like, "We're gonna take on, and we're gonna get our tag team championships back. Me and my good buddy Finn Balor, we are going to do it." I mean, as you might be able to tell from the way I'm building this up. Finn Balor turns on JD McDonough, beats him up, slams him back onto the announce table just
Oh
like he
my
was
goodness.
injured. Because he did not just turn his back on Judgment Day, he also turned his back on JD McDonough. He was included in all those rants about how no one listens to him and everyone holds him back, which is going to
Wow.
set up a match between these two great in-ring competitors, but probably not very high tier characters in the WWE at this moment. And it's going to be a very personal feud because Finn pretty much tried to take everything from JD McDonough, tried to take his career, took his best friend away from him, and JD kind of goes to a dark place. He kind of goes like Kevin Owens doing these at home in his car type of video promos that he sends in and is just talking about how he's going to destroy Finn Balor and he's going to take everything from Finn Balor like he took from him uh, and he's going to kill him pretty much. That kind
He
of
is taking it to the next level.
that kind of
He's
viciousness.
going to end his career and life.
Yes. And he is also, well, Finn goes down to the ring. It's taken a while for JD to come out. JD hasn't appeared since he took him out. He's like, he doesn't even think. Finn doesn't think that he's even going to show up. He's confident that he had taken him out for good. But then some smoke starts to fill in the arena, some fog. The lights go down. They start flashing.
Are they flashing red?
And they're flashing red. And JD McDemon makes his very first appearance. He is taking Finn Balor's own demon for himself. And he is becoming the Demon King. And of course, this will lead to Finn Balor beating the demon in 3 minutes. No, because that is not how you book the demon. The demon destroys Finn Balor. And we maybe have hope for the demon character now that it has new life.
Wow, I did not think of that part, but I was debating having Finn and JD
Mm,
as a match at WrestleMania, but I guess in my head, instead of fantasy booking, I just kind of thought to myself, I think he had, was it ribs and lung
okay.
possible injuries, and I'm like, I guess I haven't looked at how quick of a return he's supposed
Yeah.
to have, but I've just kind of assumed he's not going to be back by WrestleMania. So I would have maybe thought, I guess I was maybe thinking of it more as predictions, but I would love if he could get back in time and this at WrestleMania. In my head, this could be a slam match
Oh yeah.
potentially because I think it will be good if they do go 1-on-1. But I did not think about him coming out as a demon in this thing where he gets kind of re-injured and then reappears as this. I like that a lot. I
Yeah.
would not have thought of that myself, so I do like this quite a bit.
I'm like, I don't know why, because not all the matches have like a lot of story. I'm like, there was this and another one, and I don't know why I put so much thought into a JD McDonough Finn Balor match. Two men that probably won't even appear on WrestleMania. So that's pretty crazy, but they're getting
Yeah,
the shout out here.
I like it. I like it quite a bit. I would love that, and even if it can't happen at WrestleMania, SummerSlam.
Make it
Go on,
happen.
WWE, book it. New
Book it.
demon, because
Yeah.
yeah, the Finn Balor demon is just
Yeah.
I don't know. They just have no respect. No
No
respect for it.
respect. And that, taking the even possibility of Finn ever being the demon again, possibly, probably, absolutely is the nail in the coffin for Finn Balor. I don't see him ever being anything after his own demon is turned on him. So I'm sorry, Finn, but it had to be done.
His demons have caught up to him. I like it.
And then we have a crossover here, which is kind of crazy because it's not really an announced match. And it is a returning female challenging for a mid-card women's championship, trying to add that to her already lengthy resume, and that is the man Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria. I don't know why, but this just feels right. If Becky's coming back, it's like she'll go after Lyra Valkyria. I don't know why that's the first match we both thought of,
I
but
know.
it is.
Yeah, this is the second match on my first night, so it was one of the first ones I thought of. I don't know why it just feels right. So
Yeah,
maybe that just means that's what's going to happen. I don't
yeah,
know.
I could
Maybe it
see it.
feels just too right.
Yeah, be good. Establish the title. Establish Lyra, especially if she wins, and Becky could possibly add a new thing, get towards that Grand Slam championship. So,
Yeah.
winner here, oh, I mean, this could be a coin toss. This is a coin toss. Either one could take this one. Opposite of whatever you picked, and I don't know if you even picked one.
I don't think I did, but yeah, I'd probably have Becky lose. I think I'd probably have her lose.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think if she does return, I think WWE's best bet is having her either face for this or the women's US.
yeah,
I think that's probably the best booking for her. I think
yeah,
that makes the most sense.
yeah, I think
Trying to
so.
think who she last wrestled even. I don't even remember her last
Ooh,
match.
I don't know. I think that WrestleMania? Was that losing against Rhea? I think it
Was
might
it?
have been.
Maybe.
I think because yeah, she had like her straps from her book as her outfit, and I think she one
Oh
of them
yeah.
was sick, so they had to go first, and had a great match with
Oh yeah, you're
horrible
right.
cold or something.
That might have been her last match.
Wow, a
Wow.
year.
She really
She
been
shows up at
that can't
WrestleMania, and
possibly be right.
I think it
But it
is.
feels like it is.
I think it is. We'll have to look it up. And then, oh boy, I I
We're
added
not
the
even
extra
to the
match.
main event yet. Oh boy, oh
Oh,
boy.
we're like halfway through night one. Night one has like 10 matches. Uh, I shouldn't have added the extra Ray match. I just had space on the paper, so it went night one, but night
Oh.
one was already the longer one. And you'll see why by this match and another one later. And we already had a gauntlet match. So these are long matches. And this is a last man standing match. And you only need those when it's two people that absolutely hate each other and want to end each other in order to win. And it's got to be personal. And you got to have history. And recent history, one man here, Kevin Owens, took out Randy Orton. No, this is not that. This is not that.
It's an open
It's
challenge.
an open challenge. Never mind. Logan Paul is, well, this is not the order listed on my paper. How did this happen?
Is this one on night one though?
This is on night one. So I guess we have
Okay.
mixed. Oh, yeah, they're right next to each other. So I must have written them in the wrong order. Okay. So Logan Paul says, you got to hold up Randy Orton because that's the kind of ass Logan Paul is. And he's cashing in. He took his prime ads off of WrestleMania, and he's
Oh
taking
wow.
that time that was going to be played in commercials, and he's going out there and he's demanding an open challenge. He's like, I'm not challenged for any titles. I'm not challenging any legends. What the heck? I should be on this card. I'm the biggest name in the business. Like, I could challenge anybody and beat them. I could challenge anyone. I could challenge Brock Lesnar. A bit of a forbidden name at the moment, but Logan Paul don't care. He's going to name anybody he wants to name. Roman Reigns, MJF, Matt Cardona, Joe Hendry, possibly. And of course, if you say his name, he has to appear. And my gosh, another crazy crossover between us two. I don't get
What
it.
are the odds? And it is funny that this popped up because when I was telling my booking, I said we were supposed to go. I think, or was that this one? No, never mind. That was the John Cena one, I
Oh,
think.
yes.
But yeah, I was thinking that it was the thing where I said, "Oh, before that match, actually, he comes out and says it." But I think that was actually the John Cena one.
I
It's
get it.
crazy. We both have Logan Paul versus Joe Hendry. What are the odds? What?
Just
Why does this make sense?
just randomly, we both said, well, Logan Paul is probably going to go out there and start talking. He's going to say Joe Hendry's name, and he's going to appear, and they're going to have a match. Obvious thought. I mean, now I'm convinced it's going to happen. This and a dang Bloodline Gauntlet match. But yeah, this is perfect, and I think this could be a fantastic match. Now that I've seen Joe Hendry a little bit, and he's a lot stronger. He's like a John Cena type of guy. He can lift, and I think they're gonna have a great match. He's gonna throw Logan Paul around. I think at one point, something I've always wanted to see: someone pick someone up, throw him out of the ring onto the announce table. But that table's reinforced, so it doesn't break. Logan just takes a terrible bump off of it and into the commentators, and Joe Hendry looks like the strongest man on earth and ends up winning this match.
Nice.
So very similar between us. Crazy. Crazy.
What are the odds of those two things happening?
Yeah. He's not even in the company.
I know I'm gonna be shocked if you don't have anyone else outside of the company. We will have both picked one person that is not in the company and as a person in this match. And like I think you said in my video, I don't even know if he's getting as big of a reaction as he once kind
Yeah.
of did when he first appeared. So it's not even like, oh, he's still really really white hot. Still hot, but not like, oh, this is definitely going to happen that he's going to show up at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy, fantastic. Now I'm going to be disappointed if we don't get this. Yeah, boy. But now we get, finally, I think, I hope the last man standing match. Yes, we got a last man standing, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens. I was going to say Keith Owens. What the heck? Randall Keith
Randy
Orton.
Keith Owens.
But yeah, this is Kevin. He knows how to do brutal match stipulations. He probably wants to rest from it, but he's had a lot recently, and I think he needs one more.
Probably wants a rest. Too bad. Get
Yeah, he did
your
have
butt out there and do a last man standing.
Royal Rumble horrible ladder spots that are just dangerous. He's had a dang street fight in Elimination Chamber, and now he's got this. And I think Kevin's going to lose this one. I just don't think Randy can be taken out by Kevin two times, but it's going to be brutal. They're going to go all over the arena, and I think the punt makes a return, and I think he's going to it's gonna be hard as Kevin's getting his butt beat, and you're starting to really, if you didn't sympathize him with him before, and if you even didn't think he was right about anything he was saying, after seeing what he's gonna go through in this match and how he ends up just a bloody mess on the ground, you're gonna start feeling bad for him, and I think he's gonna take some time off after this match.
It is true. Like he's said all these things about the people that helped Roman, and then in this scenario, he will have in three straight pay-per-views gone into these extreme matches with like three of the people: Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, Randy Orton, and they will have all decimated him. Well, potentially. I guess I don't know how you booked Elimination Chamber. Uh, if we were booking Elimination Chamber, not sure. I assume that maybe Sammy would have won or and just beat him, beat him to the pulp. Um, I don't think that should happen, but in this storyline it does, and then it makes maybe I don't know, maybe it leads to something else. But yeah, I suppose that could make sense. Otherwise, I could see this one ending in kind of a double countout or something.
Yeah, I can see that as well. Main
Uh,
event time for night one. There's been a long night with a lot of bangers. And what better banger to end on than a 1 hour Iron Man match between Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. You can't decide
wow.
this with one fall. It has to be an Iron Man match. You gotta go for an hour and let it all out in this match, and it's just gonna be the best highlights of
Is
the.
it an Extreme Rules Iron Man match?
I was thinking of making it an Extreme Rules match because I'm like, you got to get the chair shots in there. You got to recreate all these past moments. So yes, Extreme Rules 60-minute Iron Man match, right after probably a 45-minute Last Man Standing match. Uh, and this one is just going to be absolutely all the hits from these two and their careers. And they're going to get that WrestleMania moment and more that they deserve. And I think that we go to the end of this, and I think it is, let's see, I think it's a tie. I think it's a 4-4 tie at the end of this. That hour, I think there's a lot of pinfalls because I'm like, some of these end with like 2-1, and I'm like, how do you do that in like an hour? You know, it's got to be more than that. So this is 4-4 tie, and after they're just exhausted, they went through it all. They went through all the emotions, and they've kind of worked through their issues, and you can just tell it in an emotional moment as they're looking at each other, like, what do we do? The match is over, we tied, and they kind of have a Shawn Michaels Ric Flair moment where you can just feel all the emotions, and they kind of acknowledge each other and put some things in the past. They've gone through it all in this match, and they do decide to just, as friends, go for one sudden death fall, which Roman Reigns finally gets his one-on-one win against Seth freaking Rollins. Which
I like it.
I like it. I like it too. And I was like, could I work a retirement match in this? Could this be double retirement? But they need more to do on this. But
We need these guys to stay in the business.
yes.
At first, I thought you were going to say they were hugging it out, and then Seth Rollins goes full heel, super kick into a pedigree to Roman.
Oh no, 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 they're good. So
But I
Seth
like
goes
your
up.
ending much more than that.
Yes.
So I'm like,
Oh,
it feels like he's doing the same thing. He's betraying him again, like he did before.
oh, but it ain't over. Seth goes up the ramp. Roman's in the ring. He's exhausted.
And he
And
retires.
then the bloodline that was just decimated, the aimless bloodline, comes to the ring. And you're like, what are they doing? What are they doing? Are they going to attack him? Roman can't do anything about this. And they get in there and they raise the ones. The bloodline looking for a new leader. Raise the ones surrounding Roman Reigns. Jacob Fatu, like, hey, does this? Raises the one. And then he points up the ramp. And it's the final boss. The Rock is back. And it was a trick. And
Oh my
my gosh,
goodness.
this sets up an impromptu. He's the Rock. He's the final boss. He can do anything. This is tribal combat for the Ula Fala. After a 60-minute plus Iron Man match, the Rock just takes up the dead body of Roman Reigns pretty much, hits him with a rock bottom, and pins him, and is the new tribal chief. A
I
bit of
love
a
it.
long,
I
long
guess going
finale.
into this, did we know? that The Rock would be at WrestleMania.
We did not. We did not.
So it's a
So,
big surprise, even.
yes, big
Wow.
surprise out of nowhere.
I
And
love it.
I love it too. Fantastic. So, following the hour-long Iron Man match and the sudden death, followed then by an impromptu tribal combat, everyone gets a long night's sleep because that was a 10 match, multi 30 plus minute matches, night one.
They go
And
back to the like 12-hour, 15-hour WrestleMania shows they had before they changed it to 2 nights.
yes. And we move on to night two, and this one is starting off with a pretty exciting match. We always want to start off with something spectacular and high flying, and what more than a tag team ladder match featuring pretty much every tag team on SmackDown, DIY, Street Profits, Pretty Deadly, Legado del Fantasma. I think those are the two guys that wrestle as a team in Legado. Not sure. And MCMG. But as you can see in the bottom left, we've got Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. Why would they be together? Well, I'll tell you why. Leading into WrestleMania, Carmelo Hayes is like, I had the match, the best of seven series last year. I was a highlight of the year, and now I'm not even on the WrestleMania card. And what's the guy? SmackDown GM's like, it's packed. This is the biggest, most stacked WrestleMania. I can't find you a place. Andrade comes up asking the same thing. I was part of that. I was the winner of that seven, really. Why am I not on WrestleMania? And he's like, I got no places for you. We can't fit any more matches in here. But I guess we could fit you into the ladder match if you two want to make up and be a tag team. And then they just both run away like, that's stupid. We ain't gonna do that. But later in the night, Carmelo Hayes humbly comes up to Andrade and suggests that they actually do this. And they do end up entering as a team. Can they coexist? It's a little shaky, but they can. And they end up winning this wild match. We got to get everybody moving around here again. Uh, and these what is it? Dawkins is pretty much the only one who's not small or a high flyer, so this one is going to be an insane match. But we got the Bar 2.0 in Carmelo and Andrade will be walking away champions.
I hope if they get together and are a tag team, I hope they're the Bar 2.0 because somehow that worked. I don't know how.
Yes. And then on to match two. This one was inspired by you. This is a stipulation deciding match for the Jay Gunther match later tonight between Jimmy Uso and Ludwig Kaiser in the lead up to WrestleMania. Gunther did exactly what he promised. He makes Jay's life hell, beating him up week in, week out, trying to take him out before he even gets to WrestleMania because it's just disrespectful that he thinks he deserves an equal spotlight with Gunther. And he's just really lowering Gunther's spotlight by doing so. And Ludwig joins in on the attacks. Jimmy has to come save his brother. Jay doesn't want his help right away. He wants to do it on his own, but he explains to him, I'm just making it a fair fight, Jay. So they get involved and they have a match, these two sidekicks, and Ludwig would want to make it a submission match, which I don't know if Jay Uso is really the best for a submission match. So that is a lot at
I don't
stake.
even know if he has a submission
I
move.
don't think so. Other than making us all say, please, please, just turn this match off. And then Jimmy wants to make it a no yeet, no rules match. And this ain't going to be a submission match. Jimmy Uso is winning this match.
Wow. I thought maybe, like you said on mine, when you before I had told you the reasoning why they were fighting, I thought you were going to say this is just some couple random guys fighting it out in a stipulation match
For
for
no
who knows
reason.
what.
For no reason. So that's one. And Jimmy's going to show everybody he can put on a good match here.
He's got to he has to redeem himself for last year's performance.
Yes, for sure. Match three, we have a women's match, which is just kind of two people that I think could uh, possibly show up in this WrestleMania, but I didn't know where to put them, so I'm like, why not put them together? We have Nikki Bella versus Trish Stratus, two legends from different eras. Trish is way back in the day, Bella's more of a diva. Neither of them are the current era. So I thought I looked it up. I don't think they've ever faced each other one on one. So I'm like, okay, this will be two eras fighting, seeing who really paved the way for this next generation.
Hmm. I guess if you were to make this a triple threat match,
Could you
who would
could
be the person from this current era that you'd include in that match?
from
To
this
get
current
three eras.
oh, I don't know who could be this era. You could go maybe Bailey. I didn't end up having Bailey on my card, so that's kind of the one person I think could be this era, possibly.
Hmm?
I'll go Bailey. Not my favorite of this era, but just a little bit. And she's not even really this era. She's like a era between the Divas and
That's true.
this era. Make it a fatal four.
Fatal four way.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who wins this one. I don't think either of them need it. Feel like Nikki could
Right.
maybe build more story after this, so maybe give the win to Nikki Bella.
That's true.
And next up, we have a segment, a backstage segment. Jimmy Uso's going back to the locker room to say,
Oh
"Hey,
boy.
Jay, good stuff. I won our match." He passes by Gunther and Ludwig in the hallway. They walk by him. They share a look. They hate each other. He's like, "We're gonna take you down, Gunther." And they said, "We'll see about that." And when Jimmy gets into the locker room, he discovers Jey Uso has been taken out. My gosh, it looks like they've finally done it. And taking him out, how can he possibly perform in a match just maybe an hour after being bloody, unconscious on the ground?
I like this angle quite a bit, but I have to question why backstage is a post office area. That is my only question here.
This
Was he
building
getting his
has.
mail and they got hit from behind?
It's the picture I found. I'm like, there we go. I'll use this. Yes, he was checking his mail, maybe. Uh, that's the room that they
Everyone
gave main event. Jey Uso.
everyone knows backstage there's a mail area for the wrestlers to pick
Yes,
up their
of course.
mail. Everyone knows that.
Of course. So Jimmy's upset. He calls for help. Everyone rushes in. He goes and tries to fight Gunther and stuff, and they had to break this whole brawl up. But Jay's not looking good. Not looking good.
Uh-oh.
And then we go on to another match. Match four. Luckily, it's not Jay's match up next. And this one is for the United States Championship. Shinsuke Nakamura is defending. And this one is a crossover with you. This is
I can't believe
Shinsuke.
how many crossovers we have.
It is crazy. But this is a dream match, and it's a WrestleMania rematch from WrestleMania like 34 or something like that. And I just really want to see this again. Shinsuke has such a cool character if they can capitalize on that. AJ's always awesome. But AJ was moved to Raw and Shinsuke's on SmackDown. I'm like, that kind of bothers me here. So I came up with a little story that they will be in Gainesville, Georgia. I think that's AJ's hometown, and having some sort of like battle royal uh, determine the contender for the U.S. Championship. One of the entrants will get injured, and AJ will have been in the front row because he has to pay for a ticket because he's not on SmackDown, but he wanted
That's
to go
true.
as a fan, so he's in the front row, and they're like, "Oh, who's going to replace this entrant into the qualification match?" And he hops the barrier, joins it, and ends up winning, going to WrestleMania, and that's how we get over the brand split that is so important.
That's true. It is a very important thing, and like the transactions that happen, that sometimes they're a little bit behind closed doors, and we don't really know how these things came about. And yeah, it gets past that kind of
Yes,
that
it does.
tape.
Yeah. didn't have much about the match or much other story here, but I do think that AJ Styles has to maybe Shinsuke's on the top rope. AJ hits the rope, Shin falls, delivers a low blow to himself with the rope, calling back to WrestleMania years ago, and AJ can kind of mock him a little bit, like I finally got you back for hitting me after our WrestleMania match, and I think AJ walks away with the championship here.
Nice. Yeah, that's I guess that and kind of the Seth Roman are kind of callbacks to long ago story. Well, I guess Seth and Roman a little bit different. They've kind of met each other over the years, but have kind of had that rivalry going. I guess I don't know that AJ and Shin have had a rivalry brewing for as long, but it's nice to kind of go back to callbacks to the years ago. It's like we've been building these stories for years, and that was what was always meant to be, obviously.
Yes, exactly. Long-term storybook. Um, and then we go to another backstage segment.
Oh boy.
Joe
Is this
Tessitore.
happening in a post office?
This one's not a post office. He's been taken to medical. Jay Uso has, and Joe Tessitore is going to ask Jimmy how it is going. Is he okay? Jimmy's like, no yeet. He ain't looking good, Joe. I don't know what we gonna do here. And it's just really not looking good. It's you can see Jay in the back. He is in agony. I don't know why he's holding a microphone here.
I was gonna say, does he have a mic in his hand? He's that
He's
way they can hear him scream.
so yeah, it is not looking good. And Jimmy says he's got to make a call. He's got to make a call. Call someone. And then Joe also goes. He talks to Gunther. Gunther's like, why not just forfeit the match at this point? Like he's obviously not going to make it. Let's not play this little game. And Adam Pearce comes up and he's angry. He's like, "You are not getting out of this. You are going to defend that title one way or another."
Oh boy.
Oh boy, where's this going? Where is this going?
I'm kind of interested to see where this is going. And yeah, who knows if Jay will ever recover from this? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. Then go on to another segment. You got to have a TV show during WrestleMania. So we have the Grayson Waller effect.
Ooh.
Got to get them on here, and they're hyping themselves up like they always do. I think this story may have happened at a different WrestleMania because The Miz gets jealous and he wants Miz TV to be the TV show of WrestleMania. So they are arguing, and he's like, "I can join along here." And who's your guest? Who's your guest that you have? I could interview them. And it is Alexa Bliss, who is tied to the Wyatt Six, or seemingly so. And The Miz has been tormented by the Wyatt Six, so he is regretting everything about joining this show. And he is getting real nervous. And they interview her about, oh, are you actually in the Wyatt Six? Blah, 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 this, that. She talks very cryptically about different things, and eventually you do get the appearance of the Wyatt Six. And at this point, The Miz is nearly having a heart attack. And he's nervous and he's begging Alexa Bliss, please, please don't let him get me. Don't let him take me out. And she says, you've paid enough for your sins, for your betrayal, because that's kind of what the Wyatt Six is going after, people using their friends, betraying their friends. And she says, you've paid enough, and you are free to go. So he gets on out of there. And so now the others are like, what's going on here? And Alexa exposes Grayson Waller for using Austin Theory, not
Oh
actually
my
caring
goodness.
about him. And
Does
Austin
she have
Theory says,
backstage footage to prove this?
no, we trust her. They're somewhat supernatural. They just know these things.
I thought
And
maybe you'd be talking on a phone. We'd have the camera
maybe they could.
backstage and we'd hear him say that joke of a man.
Maybe they could do that. Maybe they could play all the footage of times he's kind of left him and let him take the pain and different things like that. So maybe she does play some footage and uh, what's his name? Theories like, is this really true? I knew it. I thought You didn't care about me. And then she turns her attention to him. And you have been thinking and contemplating turning on Grayson Waller because of this. And they just kind of expose both of their kind of hatred for each other. And it kind of starts to get really scary. The Wyatt Six kind of start to surround them and are nearly attacking them when Grayson Waller shoves Theory into the crowd of Wyatt Six and leaves him to himself, just like Alexa said was his character. And they beat the hell out of Austin Theory very spookily, and he sells all these crazy attacks and things, the best that could ever be sold because he is one of the best. And yeah, this is gonna eventually lead to some match between Grayson Waller, Austin Theory. We'll also still treat them. They're both kind of heels here, so it's very enjoyable to see both get
That's
spooked.
true. And I get the Wyatt Six back.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it really doesn't. I guess I haven't. Have they been on SmackDown more
I don't
recently?
think so.
Or how long has it been since they've actually been? Feel like I have not seen them. Have they even been on this year at all?
I I don't think so. I think just Alexa and maybe just like a little tease and uh,
Hmm.
QR codes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess we will see if they return at WrestleMania.
We will see. And then we have another U.S. title match. We have Chelsea Green versus not really any story here. I just think that someone has earned her opportunity, and that is Zelina Vega. She's been here for, I'm guessing, a surprisingly long time. It's got to be like 7+ years
Right.
at this point, and she always seems surprisingly to be very over with the crowd.
Hmm.
And I don't think she's ever held any championships. So I don't think May.
So I
No,
know she was
that's
Queen
one.
of the Ring, but I don't. And
Oh
she
yeah,
probably
she
had the
was.
tag team. She probably had the tag team. I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
she might have held the tag team, and she was Queen of the Ring, I think. So she has that, but she's never had singles gold, and I think this is where she does get it. You have a fan favorite, you have an awesome heel to go against, and Zelina gets her moment.
Yeah, that would be a good one. I
Mm,
think the fans would like this one quite a bit.
yes, and then we have it's time for World Heavyweight Championship match. Gunther, this is where a bunch of script comes into play here. I wrote this.
Oh boy.
It was late at night, and I just kept going. I haven't really
Oh
changed
boy.
anything, so we'll see. We'll see.
Oh boy.
We'll see how this turns out. I just was inspired. So this is
Oh,
gonna be
I
some
don't
of the
know how
best.
many people are going to be involved in this.
This is gonna be some of the best dialogue you've ever seen, for sure. So Gunther goes out to the ring, expecting that Jay's not gonna show up. There's no way. I just see him. So then we cut backstage, and Jay's in his bed, in his hospital bed, surrounded by some friends, surrounded by two people, his brother Jimmy Uso and Sammy Uso as well. He said, "I came as soon as you called." This is the man that Jimmy called, and Sammy'd been out by injury after facing Kevin Owens at Elimination Chamber. And then Jimmy, I don't know what we're gonna do, Oos. Gotta do great voices here. That's Jimmy. We're gonna have to forfeit. I guess he's, I don't know, Southern. And then Jay like, no, no yeet. I didn't go win that rumble. Yeet. Crowd's still going along with his yeeting during his speaking. I didn't go win that rumble to give up like this. Yeet. Look at you, Oos. You're broken. I know, Oos. Yeet. I can't do it.
Wow.
Yeet. But one of you can.
No,
Silence.
no, I don't like this. I do not like
You
this.
don't like this?
I don't like either of those two options any more than old Half Star.
And Sammy's like, no, Jay, this is your fight. Yeah, Oos, says Jimmy. Please, I need you. Yeet. This is our fight. Yeet. I wouldn't be here without you two. Yeet. I wouldn't be main event without you guys. Yeet. Please, Jimmy. Jimmy's like, I can't. I'm not ready. I ain't earned it. And I was already in a match. Because you can't pull double duty. That's just
That's right.
impossible.
That's true.
No one's done that. He's like, Sammy Uso? Sammy's rubbing his face. He doesn't know. He's torn. I mean, it's an opportunity to win a championship and to represent Jay and avenge him, but it's like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can take this from you. You fought so hard for this, Jay. Like, you ain't taking nothing, Oos. I'm giving it. Like, but Jay, no, you're the one. Yeet. You're fresh. Yeet. And you know Gunther. Yeet. You beat him last year for the IC title. Yeet. Now you go beat him for the world title. Yeet. I'll come for you and
Wow.
that title after. But right now, Oos, I need you to finish my story. Yeet. And
Oh my goodness.
Sami Zayn is encouraged by this, and he says, "Okay, I'll do it. I'm gonna make him pay for what he did to you, and I'm gonna win that World Heavyweight Championship for you, Oos." So they share an intense hug, and Sammy starts to walk away when Jay grabs him, and he says, "One more thing, Oos." Yeet. And Sammy, the camera follows him. He's fired up. It follows him like they like to do through the backstage. His music hits, and he comes down and enters. And the match is now Gunther versus Sami Zayn. A WrestleMania rematch from last year for the World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther thinks he's seen a ghost, the man who dethroned him last year of his historic reign, is back again and trying to do it the same thing. Oh boy, what's your thought of this at this point?
I mean, I guess it makes sense since yeah, he was the one to dethrone him. I do like that callback, another callback. So I do like that, but yeah, I didn't know that the Yeet could get any more annoying because if I saw that segment, I would be so upset. I'd be like, if Gunther doesn't end Sammy in like 3 seconds, I am gonna be very upset after what I just witnessed.
Well, we got a few more pages here, so I don't think he's going to end
Oh,
him in 3 seconds. So he enters. They have a great match. I mean, these two are phenomenal in-ring talents, so they have a great match, just like last time. And you just everyone's fired up. They loved Jey Uso. It hurts to see it taken away, but the inspirational speech, next level from Jey Uso, and they are fully behind Sammy to take over Gunther, even though they're not getting the Jey that they wanted. It feels like they are and it's a great match. But at one point, um, someone, Ludwig Kaiser, wheels Jey Uso, now in a wheelchair, down to the ring. And he's all bandaged up.
why
His
is he
leg is in a cast. His arms are straight out in cast as well. He's in a neck brace.
and he's got 4 legs now.
He's got 4 legs. Yes. Shout out in the comments if you know what that little cartoon is from. So he wheels them down here, and now they're at ringside, and he's kind of mocking Sammy Uso, and he's slapping Jay around, and he can't do anything. He's in cast, and he's defenseless, and he's slapping him around, and this distracts Sammy, and Gunther gets the advantage and starts beating him down quite a bit. And then, okay, actually, I should shout something out. It's supposed to be no rules, but I completely forgot that when I was making this.
Okay,
So there's not really any no rules type of stuff. Just imagine someone
that's what the no
hits.
yeet was.
That's what the no you. But since it switched over to Sami Zayn, obviously the stipulation was wiped out as well.
Oh, okay.
So that's the rule we'll go by here for my forgetting to pull that. But then Jimmy Uso does come down and he evens the odds, and him and Ludwig brawl a little bit. And kind of go out into the crowd, and similar to what Jay and Jimmy did at Bloodline Rules last year, I think he probably spears them off of some sort of platform through some tables, something cool like that to get the crowd going. So then now it is Jay on the outside, wheelchair all bandaged up, Gunther, Sammy in the ring, and Sammy, Gunther still got the advantage. He's got Sammy in the sleeper hold. And
Uh-oh.
he's fading. He's falling down to a knee, and it looks like all hope is lost. But then Jey Uso, with the very little vertical movement that he has in his arms, in these casts, he starts to yeet and yeet and yeet, and you can see the pain in his face. Equal
I am
parts
not liking where this is headed.
Equal parts agony and determination on his face. The crowd joins in on the yeeting, and it starts to work. Sami Zayn gets up to his feet, breaks out of the sleeper hold, and unleashes a flurry of offense that is capped off with a blue thunder bomb
To
for, of
Gunther?
course, a 2 count. Only 2 counts on that
Wow, even
blue
hit
thunder
Gunther with it.
bomb. That was not the finish. That was not the finish, but now it's a much more even playing field, back and forth match, fast paced action, and at some point they get out to the side of the ring, somewhat near where Jay is, and Gunther hits a power bomb onto Sammy onto the ring apron. So that is a devastating maneuver.
The hardest part of the ring.
Sammy is down. That is the hardest part of the ring. So Sammy's down. Gunther turns his attention to Jay and he yeets mockingly
Uh-oh.
and starts trash talking him, slapping around. The slaps turn into chops. He chopping him. A defenseless Jey Uso. Chop after chop after chop. And one monstrous chop at the end knocks him completely out of his chair, tips him over, and he's on the ground. And Gunther's laughing, and he turns around and is hit with a haluva kick right into the ring post. My goodness, what a moment, what a devastating kick. So Gunther, oh boy. Sammy got hit with that devastating maneuver, and now he just hit one, maybe even more. Rolls Gunther into the ring, but doesn't follow. He goes, and he sets Jay back up into his chair. And then he goes into the ring, and Gunther pounces on him immediately and delivers chops to him and spams his power bomb finishers, one, two, maybe three of them, like he likes to do, and pins Sammy. One, two, kick out! Sami Zayn kicks out. The crowd erupts. My gosh, where did Sammy find that to kick out after all of those power bombs? My gosh, Jey Uso's starting to yeet again with the excitement. And Gunther, he can't believe it. He's shocked, but he's got to get back to it. And he tries to set him up for another power bomb. But Sammy reverses it, and he hits him with an USO super kick, which stumbles Gunther into the corner, and he hits him with a haluva kick, and he sets him back up again, hits him with another haluva kick, and it's all but finished now. He goes to the top rope, points to Jay, they yeet together, and he delivers an USO splash. Sami Zayn delivering an USO splash. One, two, three. Sami Zayn is your
Wow.
new World Heavyweight Champion. And there's a huge yeet
No
fest.
yeet.
There's a huge yeet fest after all of this. My goodness. So, yeah, they're celebrating. Sammy's rolling
Oh boy.
Jay around. Yeah, we ain't finished yet. Sammy's rolling. He's rolling Jay around the ring. They're yeeting the whole way. Rolls him up the ramp. They're yeeting. Sammy, emotional, both of them emotional. He grabs the microphone, says, I did it, Jay. I'm world champion. Like, you did, Oos. I knew you would. You deserve it. Yeet. Like, thank you. I do deserve it. I'm finally at the top. Ever since I was a kid, I dreamt of this moment. Like, I love you, Oos, says Jay. You love me. I couldn't have done it without you. Thanks to you, I have this World Heavyweight Championship. Thank you, Jay. Jay smiles, teary-eyed. Thank you, Jay, for being so stupid. Jay, huh? Jay is shocked. What? It was me, Jay. I attacked you. I was the one who did this to you. My gosh. Oos, what the hell? I knew you were so focused on Gunther and Ludwig, I could attack you, I could take you out, and you would never suspect a thing. I also knew you would want to us to replace you. I knew Jimmy wouldn't do it, and that you would turn to me. He's got this big grand plan in place. My goodness.
Evil Sammy.
Evil Sami Zayn. So Uso, he's a little angrier now. No, Us, no way, man. That's a lie. Yes, yes way, Us. I manipulated you, Jay, and it was easy. Jay starts to cry. Can't believe that he was so betrayed. You're a joke, Jay. You never deserved to be here. I deserve this. And now I have it, thanks to you. And Uso, how could you? How could you? He starts to swing at him. He tries to hit him, but he can't. He's pretty defenseless. He can't do it. He said, I'm gonna get you for this, Us. I'm coming for my title. You think I'm scared of you, Jay? I'm not. Your 15 minutes are over. Throws the microphone down. And Jay's heartbroken. You can just see it. He's so sad. He can't believe it. He was betrayed. He trusted Sammy. Sammy picks up the mic. He says, one more thing, Oos. He leans in, says, yeet. And he pushes the wheelchair off
I was
of
waiting.
the stage into a giant spotlight that erupts into sparks and fireworks.
I was waiting. I'm like, if he doesn't push him off the stage in that wheelchair, I am gonna be upset.
Yes, he throws him off of there. My
He
goodness.
yeets him off.
He yeets him off, and the crowd, these are the greatest.
Goes wild.
It's the greatest heat. Yes, the crowd goes wild. They did not expect them to cheer this on. Now, this is massive heat. This is Dominic times Logan Paul times a billion amount of heat for Sami Zayn. Adam Pearce comes out. What the hell did you do, Sammy? What the hell? Sammy just does a little yeet to him and raises the title, and he walks backstage. New World Heavyweight Champion. And that's the most exciting I could make Jey Uso and Sami Zayn.
Well, if they're ever gonna do that, if they're gonna have Sammy win the belt, I guess that is how I want it. That's how I want that whole thing to go. With
Yeah,
maybe a few less yeets.
few less seats. Okay, that could be good. That could be good. So that I don't know. That's like the least interesting match, and I'm like, And I just put about probably easily the most by like two, three, four times of effort into story. And I'm like, why? I don't even care about these guys. Okay, and then the penultimate match, one of my favorite words, the match before the final. Also, a main event, we have the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. Champion Rhea Bloody Ripley is defending against Elimination Chamber winner Bianca Belair, like we heard. In night one, she did win the chamber. But Io Sky also, as we know, has a match for the title the night after Elimination Chamber. And in that match, Bianca Belair is at ringside, maybe doing commentary, and she gets in the face of Rhea Ripley and ends up striking her, causing a disqualification win for Rhea Ripley. And Io Sky just feels like, oh, she's been screwed again out of this, and she they just kind of overlook her. They're always focused on each other, Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair, and they have their promos, but Io is not giving up. She is constantly interrupting them, trying to get back into this and get herself a match at WrestleMania. And the fans are starting to kind of turn on Rhea Ripley just because and Bianca, they're just kind of being a little rude to Io, not recognizing how much they have cost her. And Adam Pearce is like, I can't just give out more opportunities to you, but she keeps asking and eventually gets to fight Bianca. And if she beats her, she gets into the WrestleMania match. So that's on Raw. Rhea Ripley is also there, and she's on the
Oh
outside
boy.
like that, and she starts getting into the face of Bianca Belair. But Io Sky smacks Rhea Ripley with a steel chair to remove her from the situation. Then the action goes back into the ring and eventually rolls up Bianca Belair and actually uses some cheatery with either the ropes or pulling the tights because it feels like she's kind of earned the chance to maybe not heelly cheat, but get back at them and be like, that's right, I did that and I beat you and you shouldn't have overlooked me. So now she is in and making this a triple threat match.
Oh boy.
So we got this, and this has the potential to be maybe the greatest women's match that we have ever seen. With these few great characters, all phenomenal in-ring talent. Bianca Belair enters her back. I had some time. I wrote some back stuff into this because she was smacked against the apron by Jade Cargill on night one. So her back's taped up on this one. It's kind of hurting a little bit. She's trying to put that all drama behind her and focus, but might be in the back of her head tonight. And Rhea enters badass as ever. Io Sky enters. And she has, what is it? What is it called? She likes weapons. She used that chair and she continued using the chair. And she's the crowd's favorite. And she comes down to the ring with Io's Stasho, which this is what AI generated. It forgot the H, but A. And it's a big
Typical
dumpster.
AI.
And
It's
it
not what?
and it's a big dumpster when I actually said a little garbage can, WWE style. So this is just an interpretation.
I thought for a second that you said it didn't have wheels, so I had to double take. I'm like, wait, did it not have wheels? She can't even push it down because it doesn't actually even have any wheels.
Running back up to the ring.
Surprisingly.
No, so it's a steel garbage can in reality, not this big dumpster, but it's got kendo sticks sticking out, and it's just like a lot of fun stuff. EO's Stasho. So she got that. She puts that kind of in the timekeepers area to kind of go there and retrieve items throughout the match. I guess I don't have a timeline for some of these item spots, but she starts with a kendo stick. She takes one of those out and it's kind of in there and wants to get revenge on these women and smacks them up a little bit and is roaring up the crowd. Everyone loves weapons. If you have a weapon, if you get a table or something like that, you're gonna be loved by the crowd.
Exactly. That is
So
true.
so she does that. She gets chairs out. She gets tables out. She puts two tables up at ringside. And then I guess I'll go through some of the spots with the items. I have a. She's gonna bring a handsaw out, and it's gonna be like, oh my goodness, it's like a little saw, and she's gonna attempt to saw Bianca's braid and cut it off. She's holding her over the ropes and gonna do that, but Rhea Ripley comes and delivers a big boot and saves Bianca's hair. Uh, but that was a
The
fun
saw
thing.
goes flying into the crowd.
Yes. She's gonna have a chain at one point. She's gonna pull a chain out. She's always presenting it to the crowd, and they go wild every time she pulls something out of this trash bin. She got a chain, and she and Bianca Belair are whipping Rhea Ripley, one with the hair, one with the chain, and it's just back and forth. And that's a fun spot. What else we got? She gets a helmet at one point and puts it on and runs around and headbutts them like a dang rhinoceros.
But I'm trying to remember, isn't she the one that puts the garbage can over the top of herself
She
in the
does. She does put the garbage can on top of herself. So she's got a history with garbage cans.
Well, that's why I was thinking maybe she'd do that. Why use a helmet?
Well, I mean, there's more stuff in the bin.
Oh, okay.
She can't just take the bin out. She takes a helmet. She wants to prioritize safety now, you know.
Okay.
So
Is
then
it a
we,
Las Vegas Raiders football helmet?
yeah, of course it is. It's gotta be. Well, do they actually like their team? That's my question.
That's another question. I don't
They
know.
might not. They might not.
Maybe it's a Golden Knights hockey
Yes,
mask.
that makes sense. Okay. But yeah, and otherwise, it's just a great match overall. She delivers a really, so they're fighting on the outside, delivers a nasty, kind of like CM Punk, you know, how he kind of delivers a knee in the corner of the ring,
Oh yeah.
type of thing. She does that kind of to in the corner of a barricade, and it's just really nasty. She does that to Rhea Ripley in a school spot. Maybe she even does like the bulldog or whatever, smash the face on the ground as well. So Io's really playing up to the crowd, but there is more back and forth. I just wrote a lot of fun stuff for her. There's a lot of dominance from Rhea Ripley, a lot of awesome stuff from Bianca Belair. They really start targeting Belair's back. And at one point, Io takes the chain and wraps it around her elbow and delivers an elbow to Bianca Belair's back, which is
Oh boy.
absolutely devastating. She sells this like crazy. And then she goes back to the dumpster and grabs a Rubik's cube. And it's like, what's the Rubik's cube gonna do? She twists it a little bit and then just chucks it right at Rhea Ripley's face. A lot of humorous spots here.
Wow.
This is what we're going with. I think that's pretty much all of the items that we pulled out of there.
Wow.
But then at one point, they're kind of on the apron, a few of them, and Bianca hits the KOD to Io Sky off through one of those tables that Io had set up. And then she's kind of taunting, but then Rhea Ripley immediately grabs her and riptides her off through the other table at ringside. So it's just crazy madness.
Wow.
And Rhea goes over and she takes Io's stasho over there and just like empties everything out onto the ground and takes the garbage can and starts beating up Io Sky, starts beating up Bianca Belair, just mocking them, taking it. Poor Stasho. The crowd's chanting Stasho, Stasho, of course. So then she brings Bianca Belair into the ring. She hits a riptide. One, two, no! Io Sky pulls Rhea out of the ring, and they kind of brawl a little bit. And she goes for another one of those barricade knees, that CM Punk like thing, over, and she attempts it again a second time, but Rhea Ripley flips her over the top into the timekeeper's area and is mocking her and saying, "Oh, fool me once, whatever. Can't gonna get me again. Won't be fooled again." So she's kind of taunting when Io Sky grabs her arm and applies handcuffs to it and handcuffs her to a brace on the barricade. There, she shouldn't have poured those items out in that area because it has come back to bite her now. She's handcuffed to the barricade. Io Sky grabs a kendo stick and starts beating her up, and she's pretty much defenseless. And then Io goes into the ring and Bianca Belair sets her up for a KOD, but her back gives out. And she kind of claps, and then she delivers a devastating backstabber to Bianca Belair. My goodness, we are targeting the back immensely, and Rhea Ripley's she's tied up. She's kind of back to it after those shots from the kendo stick. And Io Sky applies a nasty looking submission hold with all the pressure on the back, something like the walls of Jericho, but just a little twist here. I don't know what it looks like, but something like that. That just looks so painful, especially with the back being so hurt. Rhea is yelling at Bianca, "You better not tap out or I will kill you. You ain't gonna lose my championship." And I'm not even involved. So she's trying to get herself free. She's trying to throw things in the ring. She throws a kendo stick in the ring, trying to break it up. Io just grabs the kendo stick, slides it into the walls of Jericho. So that is the force. That's the pinpoint of pressure on the back is now on the kendo stick, right into the back. And Bianca Belair ends up tapping out to Io Sky. She's the new champion. And Rhea Ripley is just shaking her head. She is annoyed. She hates Bianca Belair for losing her championship, hates Io Sky because she kind of underestimated her. And now she has shown she had what it took to take them both out. That's the match.
Wow. I think that's way more detail than I went into for any of my women's matches. Uh, and yeah, if that happened, anything even close to that, if we had this match at WrestleMania in real life, I think this one, and if they did some of those, even some of those spots, I think it'd be a very, very good match. And yeah, I think they could all easily have their own moments in that match.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Yeah,
after
it's
I did
true.
the thing with the Sami Zayn thing, I'm like, well, I don't want to just be like, oh, this would be a good match for the final two matches. So I was rushing. I was trying to figure out what could I do, and so I'm just like, oh, let's at least make some interesting spots in here. So did that with that one, and with our main event, which is the WWE Undisputed Championship match. So Cody Rhodes is the champion. The winner of the Elimination Chamber was CM Punk. And that explains why he needed no favor from Paul Heyman, and that's why the favor did go to his wife, AJ Lee. So he's like, here you go, honey, have this. Had one laying around. And John Cena is using his power to put himself into this match. That he's saying leading up to WrestleMania, he's like, I'm going to get into this match. I'm using it. And they're like, you're John Cena. He can do this. He can do this. It's a bit of a heel tactic, but he's going to do it. Punk and Rhodes, they don't like it. They don't like it. So they have a lot of nasty promos, all three of them just feeding off of each other, roasting each other. And it gets really, really personal. But by the end, like just a little bit before WrestleMania, Cena says he's dropping out. He's gonna drop out of this match because he didn't earn it. And he's like, I just can't do that. At the end of the day, I can't just insert myself into this. I have to have hustle, loyalty, and respect. But because it had gotten so heated and so personal, Cody and Punk want him to stay in the match. They say, you have to stay in this match because they want to kick his butt. So they say that they will drop out. If John Cena's not in that match, they're dropping out, and WrestleMania has no main event. Cena's like, what? I can't. Says I didn't earn this. I didn't earn it. Cody Rhodes
No
is like,
main event.
no main event. It'll just go to black off of nothing. Cody says you've earned it. You're a 16-time champion, John Cena, greatest of all time. Punk says, and over the past 2 weeks, you've earned me kicking your ass in the main event of WrestleMania. So don't consider this a favor. Cena signs the contract, gets himself back into the match. I guess I don't know if he unsigned the contract or anything like that, but he signs the contract. It's official. It will be triple threat match. Everyone loves all three of these guys, faces of the company for different eras. And it's similar to AJ Styles and John Cena, where you're just like here chanting for like 5+ minutes to start this match. And John Cena's overacting as usual. I think Cody Rhodes could probably overact a little bit as well. And it's just a great moment, immense aura. The crowd is somehow very much in this after about 34 hours of WrestleMania at this point. So then we have a brutal match, lots of teasing, lots of near falls, lots of storytelling, which I mean, I'm not going to go too much into storytelling, but I do want to set up at least a nice maybe end to the match. So at some point, they're using weapons. It's triple threat. I mean, unlike WWE, I use weapons in my triple threat matches. So they set up like a standing ladder outside between the ring and the desks, and they put a table near it, wood table near it, and eventually Punk puts Cody on to the table and starts climbing the ladder, turns around, and is about to jump when John Cena, having climbed up the other side of the ladder, grabs Punk, puts him on his shoulders, and delivers an AA onto and through the reinforced announce desk. It has finally been broken in this moment. And old CM Punk, who's
Along with Punk's back.
probably, probably Punk may never stand again after that one. So Cena, he's like, yeah, that's awesome. He climbs down the ladder. And here's a bit more overacting. He sees Cody Rhodes. He's still on the other table, the wooden table. And he's like, wait a minute. And then he climbs back up the ladder and he's gonna do a leg drop onto him. He jumps. Cody Rhodes rolls out of the way, and he just leg drops through the table.
Ugh.
My gosh, two about like 50-year-old men taking huge ladder through table. And then back in the ring, Cody Rhodes goes for a crossroads. Cena reverses it and hits the AA. It's one, two. No, it's not going to go that quickly after probably 40 minutes at this point. Cody Rhodes kicks out. He applies the STF to Cody. Cody is able to get out of that. Cody attempts a Cody cutter and is caught. And he throws them up on his shoulders. I don't know how you catch him on a Cody cutter and turn that into set him up for AA position, but John Cena does it. Maybe he has to do a roll through type thing. So he got him up for the AA, and he says, the 17th time is now. But does he deliver it? No. It is reversed into Crossroads number one. And then Crossroads number two. And as he's going for Crossroads number three, CM Punk bashes Cody Rhodes in the back of the head with the WWE Championship and throws him over the top rope, just like Cody did to them at the Royal Rumble a couple years back. And he hits John Cena with the go to sleep and pins him 1, 2, 3. CM Punk is your world
Wow.
champion. And
Wow. Punk finally gets his WrestleMania main event and
yes,
wins the belt.
he wins the belt, and it's a bookend. AJ Lee wins in a triple threat on the first match of WrestleMania, and CM Punk wins in a triple threat
Wow.
on the last match.
His wife comes out, they celebrate together and retire.
Exactly. Retire and take the belts home with them. We have no championship. And that is the end of WrestleMania 41, as it should go.
Yeah, who knows? We might get this match. I don't know if we could get that outcome. I really don't know if this match really happened, who they would book to win.
Yeah.
I really could see it being any of the three of them.
Yeah, because
Well,
now The Rock's kind of getting involved after SmackDown. He's getting involved with Cody Rhodes, so I really have no clue what's going to happen.
right. Yeah. Yeah. I am not sure either because there's also all these fantasy bookings that I've been seeing
Yeah.
people have of Cody denying The Rock and then all these potential guys that
Oh,
could be The Rock's champion.
that's true. That's true. Does
Some of
see?
me, well, I think the other two here could
They
potentially
could be.
fall in that category: John Cena or CM Punk.
Ooh, that'd be good. I could see it. I
Especially
could.
if Cena loses the Elimination Chamber, I could definitely see
Oh
him
yeah. That's
get
that
that
kind of
heel
lines
turn.
up perfectly. I mean, Cena's struggling right now, so a way out might be the way in. But yeah,
Exactly.
that's my WrestleMania card. Go watch Zach's WrestleMania card and see the crazy similarities between our lists. Comment below which one you prefer, or comment your entire WrestleMania crazy fantasy booking. What matches that you want to see. But yeah, we will be dropping. Maybe we already dropped. Yes, probably already dropped Elimination Chamber. We dropped quite a few WrestleMania and wrestling themed videos, so go check all of those out. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on that popcorn and those $20,000 WrestleMania tickets.